Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for making the time. Let me just turn that music off. And welcome to another Meaningful Monday. We are already in October. Can you believe it? The time has just flown by. If anyone cannot hear me well, sometimes it does happen, then I'll probably stop my video and I'll also put on earphones. But if you can hear me, I'm going to continue without them because tonight I'm playing the audio sound for the meditation off a separate speaker behind me and not of my laptop, just because people gave me feedback saying it was a bit too loud in their ears. So welcome everyone. Just to let you know, for those who don't know me, my name is Jeanine and I'm a certified trainer of the Silva Method, SILVA. And the Silva Method is a personal development program which you can Google to get more information on. But what I'm teaching here is basically all aligned with the Silva Method, which is really about creating the life of your own design and giving you the tools and techniques to do that. So Meaningful Mondays is for people who've done the Silva Method and who haven't, so Silva grads and non-Silva grads. So for example, Marie tonight has done the Silva Method not only once, she's reviewed it as well, so she's actually done it twice. So thank you so much for joining, Marie. That's great. Just to put into context, Meaningful Monday is really about, this awareness that we do, in fact, create our own reality, and we're doing it every second of the day with the thoughts that we feel, the thoughts that we think and the emotions that we feel, because the minute you think a thought, instantly an emotion is triggered. It's our biology, it's our physiology, it's just the way we are intrinsically designed. So unless we control our thoughts, we will have our thoughts just going crazy in our mind, like what we call the monkey mind. And if that happens, we generally tend to worry and stress. And worrying and stress automatically, with or without your consent, release stress hormones in the body, cortisol, adrenaline, and it's really quite unhealthy. There are numerous effects on us. And I'm talking about sleep, memory, focus, mood, overall health and well-being, the list goes on. So it's really important for us to be aware of what we're thinking. And the Silva Method original name, today it's called Silva Method Life Systems and Intuition, but the original name was Silva Mind Control. And I want to bring the awareness to people, whether you've done the Silva Method course or not, to bring the awareness that to control your mind is the most important thing you could ever attempt to get better at in your life. Because if you can control your mind, you literally can manage any event in your life, no matter what you're going through. And if you can control your mind, you also develop more resilience. So as we deal with stressful situations, which is a reality for everybody, no one avoids stressful situations. And from time to time, we have very serious tragedies or catastrophic things happen in our life. It might not be all the time, but when they do show up, how do we deal with them? How do we cope with them? And to equip ourselves well, we need to, have developed that resilience, which is all about the way we view things, the way we think. It all comes down, success and failure comes down to what you think. Wealth or poverty comes down to how you think. Health and illness comes down to how you think. Everything is about the thoughts going on. So that's the basis of Meaningful Monday. What I've decided to do for this evening, every month I find a new topic. So tonight we're going to be talking about the power within. And you can see here a quote by Louise Hay. And just to give those people who may not know anything about Louise Hay, I absolutely admire this woman more than any other woman, alive or not alive or passed on in the world. She passed on this year at the age of 90 or 91. However, why she's so inspirational is because she had a very rough childhood. You can read her book. She suffered a lot of physical and sexual abuse as a child from her stepfather. She got cancer. She realized that if she doesn't deal with her emotional blockages, and I'm talking about all that stuck anger, all that stuck resentment that she had inside towards, her stepfather and a mother. If she never got rid of that and dealt with that, even if she had the cancer removed, she knew it would manifest again somewhere else in the body. So she decided to go on a major, what I'll call a mental metamorphosis. She decided to mentally really use her mind to change her life. And in 6 months, without the use of chemotherapy or surgery or any other medicine, she cured herself from cancer. And that was, many, many years ago, I think in her 50s. And she wrote her first book at 51. And this is quite inspirational because we often think about success or life purpose or what are we doing with our lives. I mean, I've had these questions myself a couple of years ago. And I thought, time is a race and I need to find my life purpose. I never knew what it was. However, Louise Hay started Hay House, which is the biggest publishing company in the world today of personal development programs, at the age of 62. She hit the peak of her career at 80. And she actually published a book almost every year up until she was 90. She actually published a book at the age of 90, a couple of months before she passed on from old age. So that's why she's inspired me so much. And she has one clear message. And I'm going to start a journey through Meaningful Mondays using some information taken from her. And tonight it's about the power within. And this particular lesson tonight comes from a book from Louise Hay called The Power is Within You. And it's really important that we get to learn about the power within us. The truth is, each and every one of us has access to enormous power if we are aware of it, if we are conscious of it, and if we tap into it. So there's this quote there: the more you connect to the power within you, the more you can be free in all areas of your life. So this power, I'm sure you've heard it said before that people have unlimited potential. Abraham Maslow came to the conclusion that our potential is unlimited. So where does this potential reside? Where is all this unlimited potential? Well, it's in our mind. It's in deep reservoirs of our subconscious mind. And if we learn how to develop our mind, we can access more of our potential. So this power that you can see written there in a capital P is really, whatever you want to call it, give it a name, but there is some universal source energy or universal intelligence, universal power that governs the entire universe. There is so much for us to contemplate that will boggle the mind, whether it's the fact that all the planets are rotating perfectly every second of the day in perfect alignment. Everything is working. There's gravity on this planet. There's not gravity anywhere else. There's an atmosphere that allows us to breathe and things to grow on this planet. It doesn't exist anywhere else. How does this happen? How come the atmosphere doesn't just dissolve into nothing? What is managing all of this? Our lives, our health, the fact that your heart is beating right now, you're growing your fingernails without paying attention to that, you growing your hair, or you sleep at night, you don't think about breathing. You don't even think about breathing when you're awake. Plants grow, seasons change, the sun rises and it sets. The way that the earth revolves around the sun, yet it always faces the same side of the moon whilst rotating. All these things to contemplate are literally mind-boggling for the finite human mind. The point I want to make is there is some infinite intelligence in every single thing, living and non-living. It's even fascinating to examine an atom. So this source energy that created everything, created you. And why I talk about the connection to this power is because we are all truly physical extensions of source energy. Hey, welcome Anthony and Nancy. Hi there. So with us being physical extensions of source energy, it's this awareness of this infinite, unlimited, omnipotent power that we literally have access to. And if we tap into it, there's no end to what you can do. That's why Abraham Maslow says your potential is unlimited. And the access to it is nowhere else but in our mind. So mind development and meditation and things like that is your pathway to your stronger and more consistent connection to source energy. And this is the focus on the lesson tonight, to create that awareness for you of how much power you have just with a bit of awareness and paying attention to it and consciously and intentionally tapping into it. So here's another quote by Louise Hay. As I said, this lesson is based on her work. She says, you have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. We often think that we're helpless, but we're not helpless. We always have the power of our minds. You see, claim and consciously use your power. So we're going to talk about this and expand and explore it more so that I can somehow, hopefully, equip you tonight and assist you tonight to create another level of awareness for yourself on how you can really create all the results that you wish to achieve in your life just through having a greater awareness of your connection to this power. And just to say that this power within each of us, it actually very lovingly directs us to perfect health. Well-being is the order of the day. If you don't interfere emotionally with your body or your thoughts, your default setting is perfect health. How is that? We don't think about if we cut our hand. Let's say you're cutting fruit or vegetables and you cut your hand real badly. You don't sit there every second of the day focusing on your hand, saying mend this, mend that, this cell stitches that cell. We just automatically default back to perfect health. At the moment, I've got a slight cold. Don't know if you can hear. But I know if I just give myself enough rest, I'm going to come back to perfect health. So this power that I'm talking about directs us to perfect health. It directs us, if we allow it, to perfect relationships. And perfect relationships really come as a result of unconditional love. Because when we have conditional love, there's judgment and there's blame and there's things that interfere with it. So perfect relationships come from that, because universal source energy or God, or whatever name you give it, is unconditional love. Also, perfect careers can come from accessing this power, because when you start to focus on this power, it will guide your life. If you allow it and you surrender to what shows up in your life, it will guide you to your life's purpose. This is an absolute 100% fact. We may not believe that, maybe because we've got a limiting belief, or maybe we've been conditioned to take a certain path in life because of what our parents or grandparents did. I don't know. But the truth is, with awareness and contemplation and silence in meditation, we can also be guided to find our life purpose, which will lead us to our perfect. It may not even be your career. Your life purpose can be outside of your career. But it may be even that thing that you dedicate more of your time to, which can become your career. And also prosperity. Prosperity and abundance is the order of the universe. You can look around anywhere. There's abundance everywhere. Look at grass. Look at air. You can take the deepest breath in. You deprive no one else of a breath. You can take as much water as you want out of the ocean. It's abundant. How many grains of sand are there on the sea? How many flowers are in bloom? This is an abundant universe. And prosperity and abundance, including money, works on the same principle. How much we have in our life depends on our awareness of our connection to source and the awareness that we are abundant in every aspect. And with this awareness on abundance on every other level, we tune into abundance. So if I'm aware of the abundance of sunlight, air, plants, trees, everything, doesn't matter what I'm focusing on, there's an abundance of it. I'm literally tuning in like a radio dial into a station, tuning into abundance. And it works with money as well. When we are aware of the lack of something, we create more of that lack. So what do you focus your attention on? You focus your attention on abundance, or do you focus your attention on lack? All of this comes back to a constant awareness of this power within. We are physical extensions of source, and being aware of that can change your life and give you power to create anything that you can ever begin to imagine for you. Right, so to have health, love, and prosperity in our lives, we really need to have two things. The first one is to believe that they are possible. This is so important. I can tell you right now, whatever you have in your life regarding health, relationships, money, career, spirituality, fun, recreation, quality of good relationships with people, whether personal or work, all comes down to our beliefs. Whatever beliefs we hold about these things has determined the reality that you're facing today. So if you wanted a change in your results in terms of health or love or prosperity, you have to change a belief. So to have more health, love, and prosperity, you do need to believe that they are possible. There's this old saying by Napoleon Hill that says, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And this comes down to, how do you create a new belief? Well, you create a new belief by what the mind can conceive, means you continuously see yourself doing, being, or having that thing. How do we do that? We do that through visualization. We do that through meditation, not passive meditation. Passive meditation is clearing the mind and not trying to think thoughts. I'm talking about dynamic meditation, which we do in the Silver Method, where you focus your mind in a deep state of relaxation, in a state of meditation. You guide your mind and you create images in your mind. With what the mind can conceive repeatedly, it will automatically, with repetition, believe. So what the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. It is the law. It is the way it works. You don't have to believe in it or not. It will work if you practice it. It doesn't even require you to really believe much in it. If you practice it on some level, let's say money or better relationship or health issue, and you just visualized every day and you made an intentional effort to see yourself having that as if it's already there, with repetition, you create more and more impressions in the subconscious mind and you'll create a new belief. So to have these things, the first thing you need is to create a new belief. The second thing is you've got to be willing to release the patterns in our lives that are creating conditions we do not want. And I'm going to talk a little bit further about this. You have to be willing to release the things that are holding you back. For some reason, we have a tendency to hold on to things we don't even like. Even relationships that upset us and irritate us, or people, we tend to talk about them to our friends. We tend to repeat the story to another person. Why do we keep repeating them and giving energy to them and focus to them? Because where energy goes and attention goes, energy flows, we create more of that. So we need to be willing to let go and release patterns. And patterns are habits. Things that we say are habits. They say approximately 80 to 90% of our language, how we speak and what we say, is habitual. So one is, when it comes to be willing to release the patterns in our lives that create conditions we do not want, there's two things. The one is release those that you don't want. That's one. And the second one is, hey, create new beliefs. Be intentional, create new ones at the same time. Try to be intentional about releasing, but be intentional about creating new ones. Just to tell you, the whole Silver Method program is about creating new beliefs by literally retraining the subconscious mind. In dynamic meditation, we say, what are the results you want? We focus on them, everyone knows what they are, and we go ahead and we create new beliefs. And that's through visualization. So here's this quote. It said, it all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. So quit talking about the things you don't want. Talk about the things you do want. Talk about the things that excite you. Talk about the things that you'd love to have in your life and why would you love to have them? How would it make your life different and better, and what benefits would you get out of it? Talk about that. Think about that. Focus on that. When you're driving, when you're on your own, when you're just walking around, what thoughts are going through your mind? So just to go back to the awareness that you are always connected to this power. Of course, you have always connected to this power, this source energy, God, universal intelligence, whatever name you want to give it, created you. It's in you. It's part of your heartbeat. It's part of the life force, the life energy that's in you that keeps you alive. So you are always connected to this power. The best expression is just to keep going back to say you are a physical extension of source energy. The difference between you and source energy in terms of our non-physical nature is the same. It's just that source energy has more volume. In the Silver Method, we talk about an exercise called the droplet of source energy to say, imagine the ocean. And the ocean, I mean, just think how vast the ocean is. I mean, it's just enormous. We can't even think about a part of our ocean and think about all the oceans around the world. I mean, it's just vast. If all the oceans made up source energy, then you are like a tiny droplet. I've got a glass of water here, like a tiny droplet like that of source energy. That's you. One's me. So the difference is we have the same nature. We are creators. We're creating our own reality. The difference is volume, power. The ocean is so much more in volume than a tiny drop. But the truth is you are always connected. You are always connected to this power. So these things you need to know and you need to be aware of. It is always available to you. This is such an empowering idea. It's so empowering to think you're not alone. The struggles that you're going through in your life right now, whatever it is that you're facing, you're not alone. This power is available to you. It is always focused on you. You may not be always focused on the power, but the power is always focused on you. So it is only our awareness of it that determines our connectedness, our alignment. And when in alignment, our lives are guided and we live in the flow. Now, I'm sure at some point, we've all experienced that wonderful feeling of living in the flow, that feeling that things are working out for you. You have lucky coincidences. Good news comes more often. You just get a parking space wherever you want. Money flows in. You didn't expect it to come, a tax return or something. You just seem to be getting on better with people. Business seems to be easier. Going to work is actually fun. You find you don't have to motivate yourself to get through another day. You're actually inspired. You're taking inspired action. You feel on top of the world. Just walking around, you feel like you've got a skip in your step. That's living in the flow. So when you have this awareness of this connection to God or universal source energy, the awareness creates this connection and this alignment, and this is what can guide your life. I love this quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer. He said, if prayer is you talking to God, then intuition is God talking to you. And I'm glad that I've put this in here tonight because intuition is really what Wayne Dyer has written here. It's really the guidance from source energy into your life to guide your life. That's what intuition is. That's why people who are very refined in their intuition or they use it or they trust it all the time, they will tell you that this intuition guides their life. It guides their life because it comes from universal source energy. It cannot guide you wrong. It cannot guide you wrong. It comes from a place of unconditional love. It will always guide you right. So what's really important is for us to trust our higher selves. Our higher selves is just an expression for the part of you that is non-physical. Because the truth is, we are not human beings that have a soul or human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings. First and foremost, having a human experience. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. That's what you are first and foremost. So if you trust your higher self, then that's when we receive everything that is right for us, everything that is good for us, everything that is good in our lives. It's this that will guide your decisions. It will lead you to fulfill your purpose. So I'm just going to talk about habitual ways of thinking. Sometimes unfortunately, we choose to live in the past and we rehash all the negative situations and conditions that have happened to us in the past. What does that do? It keeps us stuck and keeps us creating more of that. Because every time you're thinking thoughts about negative things in your past, you are actually going through those emotions, whether you think you are or not. You can't just think negative thoughts. They will create negative emotions, and your emotions are what attract a match into your life. So whatever you are feeling, you're attracting that's a vibrational match to it into your life. So if you're feeling good, you're attracting things that are a vibrational match. You're attracting good. If you're feeling bad, you're attracting things that are going to make you feel bad. So when we live in the past and rehash negative things, it's that law of attraction. We just get a match of what we're feeling. And if we choose to be different and we say we're not going to be victims of the past, but we choose to actually be conscious creators of our futures, wow, then we tap into this power, and then this power supports us. It literally supports you. It helps you. It assists you. It guides you. It's there for you. And then what happens is you get newer and happier experiences in your life unfolding. So here's a simple fact. And I'm just going to repeat this. This fact does not rely on you agreeing with it or not. This is a universal law, like the law of gravity. The law of gravity does not rely on human beings' belief. It applies regardless. Here's a simple fact for you to know. Every thought we think and every word we speak is literally creating your future. So what are you thinking? What are you talking about? Become aware. Become aware of what you're thinking, what you're speaking, because what you're speaking about today is creating your future. Where you are today is a result of the thoughts and feelings and words you've spoken in the past. So if you change your thinking, you can and will change your life. Now, this sounds very simple, but it's actually a little bit more challenging, because to change our thinking takes a lot of determination, because 90% of what we think is habitual, as I said. We just have this habitual way of thinking. So they've also said 80% of our thoughts are negative. So if we want to create positive results, we need to become very intentional about what we're thinking. But here's the good news again, a quote by Louise Hay. No person, place, or thing has any power over me, for I am the only thinker in my mind. This is the most powerful quote you could ever read, because what she's saying is, what life do you want to create? The power is within you. The power is not in another person. It's not in a circumstance. It's not in your career. It's not in your job, in your boss, in the weather, in the economy, in the politicians. The power to create your life is nowhere else but within you and in your mind. So become aware of what we're thinking and become aware of what we're saying. So this leads me on to the next point, which is about responsibility versus blame. We contribute towards every condition in our lives, good or bad. Every condition in your life, my friends, is feedback. The day you come to be conscious of this every living minute is the day you become the most powerful creator of your own reality. Everything is feedback. Did you have a good day today? That's feedback. That's feedback about what you were thinking and what you were saying and what you were feeling. Did you have a bad day today? That's feedback. Did some good news happen? That's feedback. Bad news happen. That's feedback. I've got a slight cold. I am so aware of my health as feedback. And I kept asking myself, I got this cold. I went away for a few days, had an outstanding time. On the day I had to drive back home, I got this cold. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to get sick. But I kept saying to myself, when did I create this? When did I create this? And I came to the realization, I actually wanted to sleep more. I wanted a bit more rest. I wanted to sleep more late. I wanted to nap in the afternoon. And some days I didn't. I just pushed myself to go sightseeing and things like that. So everything is feedback for you. And we need to become responsible for everything. When we can stop blaming anybody, anything, and we take responsibility for everything, that's when you become the most powerful creator. Because then you empower yourself. You're taking charge. You're saying, I'm in a bad situation. I created this. I can create a good situation. You know, Louise Hay's personal story, when she got cancer, And she knew that she created that. Okay, just to be graphic and explain what happened. As a young girl, she was raped by her stepfather. And in her late 40s or 50s, she got vaginal cancer. And it was all that resentment that she held in that part of her body that manifested itself in cancer. But she knew if she was going to blame her stepfather for the cancer because she was so resentful, the pain, the hurt, the anger, everything that she went through, she was never going to take her power back and tap into universal power to help heal her body. She knew she created it. When she took responsibility for her cancer and said, not my stepfather, but I created this. And by the same token, I have the power to heal my body. She knew if she never resolved this blame responsibility thing, she could have had the cancer and the tumors removed surgically. But she said, I'll just manifest them somewhere else. I'll get cancer again because I'm responsible for creating this. And this is still in me. It's in my energy field. It's in my emotions. So this is important for us. Everything that's happening in our lives, good or bad, we need to take 100% responsibility for. Just a quick little snapshot out of my own life. There was a time when I wasn't that confident about doing certain things in my business, and I outsourced one of the most important things. And things got worse. And then I suddenly got the realization, Jeanine, you take 100% responsibility for this. And I did. And I reversed the decisions I made, and I take 100% responsibility. Things got better than they'd ever been. And you know what? I had more passion for my business. I had more passion to fulfill my purpose, to fulfill my goals, to achieve them when I took responsibility. So this is a really important notion for us to be aware of. And also, besides blaming other people, this is also just say when things are going wrong, hey. This is not to blame ourselves when things go wrong. No. We don't blame ourselves. Oh, like I'm sick. It's all my fault. What did I do wrong that I've got this cold? When things go wrong, don't blame yourself. There's a big difference between blame and responsibility. We need to have awareness. When things are right or things are wrong, just have an awareness. Responsibility means that we have the power to make changes. It's about us having that power. Blame, whether you're blaming yourself or someone else, or a situation, or the government, or the weather, or the politics, or whatever it is, you give your power away. And you know, this is a hard thing for most human beings. It really is. It's not easy to say, I'm going to take 100% responsibility for everything in my life. But this is literally what we need to do to start to become aware of your power to create and to start believing in your power to create the life that you want and to start trusting that you have the power to create your life. Just from today, start changing your thoughts about blame and just say, I'm responsible for everything. And you know what? If things aren't right, I'm responsible to make them right. Just having that thought gives you power. You're starting on the front foot. You're being proactive. So coming back to the power within, talking about feedback, it says here, if we can use our problems and illnesses as opportunities to think about how we can change our lives, we have power. You see, by taking responsibility, we have the power to change. So if you're making notes, just write somewhere big on your paper. Just write 100%. Anywhere on your paper that you're making notes. And just say 100% responsibilities on me. And just by the way, I read this book called The Big Leap. And he talks about marriage. And he was doing some marriage counseling at some stage, the actual author of the book. And he said, you know, people come in marriage counseling, they're struggling in their relationships. And he asks them, who's responsible for the outcome of this marriage? Who's responsible for the success or failure of this relationship? And people tend to say, oh, it's 50-50. And he said, no. It's 100% you, the husband. It's 100% on you. And he's like, but what about her? He said, no, it's 100% on you. You've got to get that in your head. Otherwise, you're not going to fix this marriage. And then he turns to the wife and he said, and it's 100% on you. So there's 200% when it comes to a relationship. So write that 100% down on your paper somewhere, because everything in your life is 100% you. How happy you are at work. I know this sounds terrible, but it's 100% you. And I haven't got the length or the intention to go into it in detail here, but I'm living proof that when I took full responsibility for my unhappiness in a job that wasn't doing the best for me, I wasn't getting anywhere. The day I took full responsibility and said, this is my issue, I need to change. No one's going to change the boss, the company, the clients, the role. I need to change. And when I did that and I took responsibility, everything turned around for me, and I was unbelievably happy. So it is about this power within, claiming our power. And I've got their problems and illnesses. Do you know how many people say that catastrophic illnesses were the most wonderful thing that happened to them? They often say it was the biggest blessing in their lives. Louise Hay, read her books, man. She talks about that cancer that she had, and the trauma in her life became her biggest blessing. And oh my goodness, what a blessing it was, because how she has blessed millions of people. Just one of her books has sold 35 million copies, and that's just one. How many lives has she blessed because she took an illness, took responsibility for it, and found the opportunity to learn something out of that circumstance. And this is our lesson. This is our life. What can we learn from our difficulties, our adversities? These are a catalyst. They are the Kickstarter for our learning. And the more we learn, the more we raise our awareness. The more we raise our awareness, the more we become powerful creators of our reality. And it all really comes down to, as I said, tapping in to the power of universal source energy that's always available to us. Just as my own personal example, the most catastrophic thing that ever happened to me was losing my younger brother. In 2012, I lost my younger brother. He was only 21, and he died suddenly and tragically. And that was really the biggest catastrophe and the biggest sadness in my life. But you know what? It brought me the biggest blessing, because it was that kicked me into reality and said, Jeanine, what are you doing with your life? Your younger brother was here today, he was gone the next. What if you went? What would you be happy with where you are? And I thought to myself, I'm not really living the dream life that I would like. What is it that I want to do? And I didn't even know what it is that I wanted to do, but I knew that it wasn't 100% what I was doing. I was having other people's appointments throughout my calendar, and had to find time in between to do my job. But I wasn't really doing anything that really, was really just me, expressing me. And I didn't know what it was. But slowly but surely, with intention, when I had this awakening of that catastrophe, I went on a journey to find it. And trust me, when you ask the question, you will get the answer. That's why in the Silver Method, we have a life purpose exercise. I don't promise people you'll get the answer at the end of the exercise, but I do guarantee you will get the answer. If you plant the question in your subconscious mind about what is your life purpose, you will get the answer. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of patience, intentionality, and opening yourself up to alignment with source energy or God, to let that intuition flow into your life, because it was only when my intuition, which, by the way, I developed through the Silver Method after my brother died, that guided me to take certain decisions. And those decisions led me to find the thing that truly gives my life meaning. And it's this that I'm doing now. It's sharing this with you, becoming the Silver Trainer, teaching leadership. This is it. And when you find your life purpose and you open yourself up to surrender to what's put in front of you, every door will open for you, and all the support and help you need will flow into your life. This is what you're meant to do. So just a quick point here about dealing with the past. This is quite important that we understand the importance of this. All your experiences till now were created by you, by your thoughts and your feelings. So you need to know that you created it all. You need to own your story. Own your story. Don't blame anyone for the past. Don't blame anyone or anything. Own it 100%. Say, yes, I did it. I made those choices. And I can't change them. Accept what's happened in the past. You can't change the past, but you have to accept it, and you have to own it. Do not look back with shame or regret on anything in your past. This is very important, guys. Do not beat yourself up because you didn't do better, or because you didn't do something, or you didn't take a step, or you didn't say this, or you didn't take that job, or you didn't, whatever it was. Don't beat yourself up about it, because at the time you did the best you knew how. Even if you were thinking every day at that stage 10 years ago, whenever it was, should I? Doesn't matter. At the time, you took the best decision you could from where you were at your level of awareness then. Accept yourself and love yourself and embrace it for what it was at that stage. But now today, where you are today, you've got to release the past. You've got to let it go. If there's anything that you regret, let it go, and let it go. Release it with love. With love, really. Forgive yourself. Honor yourself. Love yourself. And be very grateful that those things happened, even if you today might have this level of regret. You've got to let it go, but you've got to be grateful for that experience, because why? It's brought you to a new level of awareness. You see, if we don't have the negatives like regret, we don't know what it is that we want. I'll give you an example. When you're sick, you know you want to be healthy because there's no fun being sick. When you're poor, you want more money because there's no fun being poor. When you're having a bad relationship, when you're fighting all day long with your partner or your child or your boss, it sucks. And it's when we get contrast, when we get the negative experiences, they are a blessing too. Be grateful for them, because they create the awareness, hey, I want the good stuff. And then we know what we want. And then we focus on getting it. And then we start, visualizing, tapping into universal source energy, using our mind, using our power, and getting what we want. So please, things in your past that you have regrets, you've got to let them go. This is absolutely necessary if you want to create a better future. I have to repeat this. This is absolutely necessary. If you want to create a better future, you have got to release your past. There is no two ways about it. You can't live with that energy in you and create a better future, because remember, you're a vibrational match to everything that you feel, whether you're aware of the feeling of it or you're blocking it somewhere deep in your subconscious mind, or you're pushing it down and saying, I don't want to think about it anymore, it's in the past. Trust me, there's no such thing. I don't want to think about it anymore. It's in you. It's inside, somewhere inside you. So the regrets that we have or shame that we feel literally blocks you from allowing more happiness, health, and prosperity from flowing into your life. And if you don't know how to do this, guys, please get in contact with me or come and do the silver method, because there are processes there that we have using the laboratory. It's one of the techniques where you can heal anything in your life from your past. Doesn't matter your age. And I'm saying this confidently, and I stand here confidently saying this. It is better than going for therapy, my opinion, but I'm standing by it. If you use dynamic meditation and techniques like the silver method to create your future and release your past, in my opinion, it is way better than therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is losing ground slowly but surely in the world today, because they understand through neuroscience the power of the mind is unlimited. And when we tap into that, we can create anything we want: healing, health, prosperity, whatever it is. So please release the past with love. Give it thanks. All the bad things, give them thanks. Send them gratitude. Write a gratitude page if you have to, because they've brought you to the new awareness of what it is that you now do want. Now that's dealing with the past. How about dealing with the present? This is the moment we are living. This is the moment we are feeling. And this is the moment we are experiencing. I've put these as 3 bullet points because this is all we have, is the now. This is all we have. We have the moment now. So what we are doing right now is creating our tomorrow. It's all about now. Forget thinking about the past. Really, it's a habit. It's a habit of what we did yesterday and how we did it. If you want to do anything about thinking about the past, do just this one thing and then you let it go. The only thing you can do is, John Maxwell teaches, plan and reflect. So plan your day, reflect at the end of your day. How did I do? What could I have done better? Write that down and that's it. Let it go. Or reflect on your week or your month or your year. And if you really have to, reflect on your 20 years ago issue that's still holding you back. Reflect on it and just ask yourself, what can I learn? Get a piece of paper, write the learning down, and then give thanks. Be grateful for that learning and let it go. This now, the present moment, is the moment to make the decision about what you think and feel. This is why mindfulness is becoming one of the biggest careers out. Everyone wants to get into mindfulness, or they want to practice mindfulness, or they want to become a mindfulness practitioner. Why? Because it's about being present. It's about the awareness of right now. Being conscious about creating your future, conscious about what you're thinking and feeling, not getting mixed up in thoughts about the future or the past. And remember, when we're in the moment right now, positive thoughts give positive outcomes. Negative thoughts give negative outcomes. So in the present moment, be aware of what you're thinking. That old adage about, be positive, think positively. Yes, it's true. If you can be more positive, you're going to have more positive outcomes in your life. You will. Try to, in your household, if you live with someone, or otherwise at your work with the people that you work with, try this out. Tell each other we're going to go on a fast for a month about saying negative things, and make a list of negative words. Words like but. I'm just going to rattle through them and not explain them because it takes too long. But is a negative word. Impossible is a negative word. Can't. Won't. Should. Should is a negative word. It brings up regret and guilt. Say I will. Try is a negative word. Say I will. Not I'll try. I will. I'll do it again. I'll give it another shot. Whatever. And make a list of negative words, or calling yourself, running yourself down. Make it and hold each other accountable to not speak negatively. So my question is, what are you choosing to think and believe and say? Because all of that is creating your future. So here's some more beautiful quotes from Louise Hay. The point of power is always in the present moment. The past has no power of the present moment. The past has got no power at all. That's why you got to let it go. If you keep thinking it, you're going to rehash it. Then it's got power. But otherwise, you can't change it. So let it go. You are in control of your mind. As much as some people, I speak to some people about this, and they say, no. I wish I was in control of my mind. My mind is nuts. My mind just keeps going. It's like crazy. It's like the monkey mind. These thoughts are all there all day long. The truth is, even so, you're still in control of your mind, because if I said to you, hey, just take a deep breath. Just think about a pink elephant. Just keep thinking about that pink elephant. And I just said, just hold that thought. You can do it. So where are all the other thoughts now? So if you can think about a pink elephant, hey guys, you can think about positive thoughts. You can control your monkey mind. It takes practice. It's probably the most, I don't want to say difficult, but one of the biggest opportunities we have is to learn to control our mind, because it is challenging. There's no doubt. The mind is so used to doing its own thing. So the cancel technique in the Silver Method, if you want to know more about this, there's a webinar on the 12th of October, which is on the Silver Method, the 4 key skills to take charge of your life. But just in brief, the cancel technique is just simply a pattern interrupter. We learn to reprogram the mind. And this is not semantics, guys. This is neuroscience. If you say something negative, just go cancel, and immediately reframe with a positive statement. The mind takes it in. So we want to have positive thoughts. We don't want to have negative thoughts. And how you speak is a habit. So here's a quick example. Okay, by the way, it just says there, if you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. It's all in the mind. So here's a quick example of the cancel technique. Some people now just think about where you are and like what you want to change. Maybe there's 50 things. Maybe there's 2. Who knows? Even if it's the way you think, even if it's about having positive thoughts, just say, oh, it's so hard to change. Cancel. I now choose to believe it is becoming easy for me to make changes. There's a very empowering thought. Even if you just took that one liner and said it every day, I now choose to believe it's becoming easy for me to make changes. You're empowered. You have this power. You can tap into it. So I love this quote, don't drown in a sea of negativity when you can float on the ocean of life. Choose your thoughts. Have a wonderful life. So here are quick 6 steps to access this power within. So the first one is a big deal. Feel worthy. You are worthy. You are meant to have a wonderful life. You are meant to have fun. You are meant to be happy and prosperous and successful. You're meant to be a wonderful, loving expression of life. So that's the first one. Feel worthy. Tell yourself every day, I am worthy. You know, by the way, about 1997 or something, I went to some meditation classes in Johannesburg. And this guy said, every day, wake up and write a foolscap paper of just these words. I'm worthy of fulfilling all my dreams. I'm worthy of fulfilling all my dreams. Just write that every day, over and over for a foolscap page for more than 30 days. And if something doesn't miraculously and incredibly change in your life, he said, come and tell me, because you're going to come to me and tell me great things have happened for you. And I challenge you to consider that. If you struggle with worthiness, create a new belief. I'm worthy of fulfilling all my desires. I'm worthy of fulfilling my dreams. I'm worthy of being happy. The next one is to surrender. Trust the power within you to be there for you. You are connected to Source at all times. It's not somewhere there. It's within you. You are permanently connected. Change your awareness and focus upon that connection. And if you want to know more about surrender and what surrender can do, one of the best books I've read in all my life is The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. What a book. When you see what happens to a person when every voice in their head is saying, no, 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 don't do that. And then he says, I surrender, and goes with it. How his life literally unfolds miraculously, and he becomes a man who's had one of the greatest services to this planet. Never mind the books he's written, but the companies that he created and how they served the medical industry and people. It's fantastic. The next step, if you get scared, just become aware of your breath as it flows in and out your body. This is so simple. Your breath is the most precious substance of your life. You accept this breath without even thinking about it. Yet you doubt that life can supply you with the other necessities. This is an example of abundance. This is an example of you will always be taken care of. It's only your mind that might have a limiting belief that somewhere, some part of you won't be taken care of. You will always be taken care of. The best example I love to talk about, and I learned this from Wayne Dyer, he says when a baby's in a mother's womb, the mother does nothing. Let's be honest. All she does is feed herself, really, and she's growing this baby from 2 tiny, tiny cells that you've got to see on a microscope, creates this highly complex, miraculous creation with a skeleton, a respiratory system, a digestive system, a brain. That's, by the way, the most complex creation in this universe is the brain, the nervous system, fingernails, eyes, teeth. All of this is created perfectly. No one's taking care of it. The mother's not doing it, trust me. She's just eating and looking after herself, and she's pregnant. The minute that baby pops out, all of a sudden, we think that without us doing everything, nothing's going to continue, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to be looked after. But we will always be taken care of. Look to nature. I mean, the plants don't struggle to grow. Things just happen. Life is like that. So you've got to really, if you ever become afraid in life, just know you'll always be taken care of. It comes down to your trust. It comes down to your faith. All miracles that have ever happened are a result of strong faith. The impossible has been made possible because of faith. So when you are scared, just remember your connection with that power and just become aware of your breath and say, this breath is here to sustain me. I don't even think about breathing. And it's the thing that sustains you. 4th, learn about your own power. Go within for answers. Tonight in the meditation, you'll see We're going to ask some questions in meditation. You're going to get the answers. The more you trust this is one of the reasons I love doing Meaningful Mondays, is whether you've done the Silver Method or not, you are learning to ask questions. Call it your higher self, give it any name you want. You will get answers that you can always, always trust, because they come from a place of truth. When we can shut down the conscious mind, which is the reason of all our problems really, the conscious mind, once that's shut down, you can ask questions in a deep state of meditation. Truth answers. Fifth, you have to get in touch with your inner guidance. You need to learn to develop that. The highest wisdom for you is your own intuition. It's your own inner guidance, because really, if you go to Wayne Dyer's quote, intuition is when God is talking to you, when universal source energy is trying to guide you, what's right for you. That's the highest part of you, the non-physical part of you, the spiritual part of you. It's not your mind, because you can think about observing your own thoughts. Well, who's the observer? That's the true you. That's the being. If this that I've just said is complicated, doesn't make much sense, please read the book, The Untethered Soul. It's a great book to explain. You can observe your thoughts. You can observe worried thinking. You can observe positive thoughts. You can actually watch yourself think. Well, who's the observer? That's your higher self. That's the true being you. It's not the brain with all these thoughts. And 6, all the answers to all the questions you're ever going to ask lie within you. I wish you would believe this with your heart and soul, because so many of us go for answers to a friend, a parent, a therapist, a priest, someone else, but truly the best answers for you, for your life, are within you. No one can guide your life better than your own higher self. Every time you say, I don't know, you shut the door of your own inner wisdom, because the answers you get from your higher self are positive and they're supportive, and they'll always be supportive of you. Just that you know, if you ever get negative messages, they are from your ego. They are from your human mind level. They are not from your higher self. They are from your analytical mind. Some part of your brain suddenly is out of alpha, the deep meditative state, and you're analyzing, and that will be the only reason you're getting negative thoughts. If you can really shut that down and relax, let go, trust the process, let go, stop analyzing. Don't analyze anything. Not my voice, not the music, not the question. Just let go. Stop thinking and listen. When the question gets asked in the meditation, just listen. Whatever comes, write that down. Those answers come from truth. Okay, just put there, the Silver Method helps millions develop the intuition. 2 days of the 4 days of Silver Method is about intuition development, because this is really the most valuable thing you could ever develop in your life. Just quickly, when you are in doubt, ask, is this a decision that is loving for me? Is this right for me right now? There's 2 things here. As we learn to love ourselves, and as we learn to trust our higher selves or our higher power, it is only then that we become co-creators. And I say co-creators because we don't create our own life on our own. We don't even breathe on our own. Everything comes from source energy, God, whatever you want to call it. So when you love yourself and trust your higher self, you are then co-creating with source. And you are then tapping into that power that can create anything that you want in your life. So our love for ourselves moves us from being victims to becoming winners. And our love for ourselves is what attracts wonderful experiences into our life. You've got to love yourself first, or you don't feel deserving of receiving all the good that you want. Have you just ever noticed that people who feel really good about themselves are naturally attractive? They usually have this quality about them that's just wonderful. They're like really happy with their lives. And you find that people like that have things that they want come to them easily and effortlessly. It all comes down to this self-love, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a necessary thing. In fact, the Bible says, trust and love thy neighbor as thyself. So the command is, you got to love yourself. And then you love your neighbor as yourself. And just trust and learn to trust that we may not understand everything with our limited human mind, But really, on a universal level or a cosmic level, just know you are in the right place right now at the right time, listening to this tonight, wherever you are, it's right for you, it's right for your life. And whatever you're doing the right thing. And just know that your present experience is a stepping stone to a new awareness and new opportunities for you. So never have regrets. Always be grateful for everything that's happening right now. So we all have the power to live our lives with purpose and meaning. These 3 questions you should ponder. If you don't know your life purpose, you should ponder these questions regularly. Who are you? Not your identity, your name, your title, what job you're in. No. Not your parents' name. Just who are you really? Who are you? That's this creation. And what did you come here to learn? And more importantly, what did you come here to teach? Ask these questions. These are big questions. These are the questions that have brought the biggest philosophers on our planet to writing wonderful books on philosophy. Because the truth is, you have a unique purpose. You are more than you appear to be. You are way more. You are far more. We are far more than our bodies, our personalities, our problems, our situations. We are all spiritual beings. We are energy. We are vibration. We are love. And we all have the power to live our lives with purpose and meaning. So find that purpose, follow it, and live your life with meaning. The purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. I can give you this quote here. This comes from the Silver Method. Day 3 and 4 is all about this. Developing a constant connection with Source, finding your life purpose, and developing your intuition is your highest priority. Because when you do these 3 things, you will live your life of purpose. You will live the purposeful life that you were designed and brought here to live. And when you're living that, you couldn't be in a better place. You couldn't be happier. And more than that, you couldn't be a better gift to the world. Because life purpose is never about us, by the way. It's always about others, serving others with our talents and gifts expressed in our own unique way. So that's really important. Developing a constant connection with Source, finding your life purpose, and developing your intuition. Okay, guys, it's time for a meditation. I just want to open all the lines and just say, anyone have any questions? Shoot your questions, and then we'll go to the meditation. So anyone have any questions about the lesson tonight?
Love it as usual.
Oh, thank you, Anthony.
It was awesome.
Thank you very much, Marie. You have any questions, though? No? Okay. We're going to do a quick 15-minute meditation now. And just for those who haven't done it before, like Lucas, this is to reset the body and the mind for the month of October. What we want to do is set our intention. So the questions are like, what do you want to focus on for this month? And then you're going to tune into your higher self. This that I've spoken about the whole of tonight is going to be a living experience for you right now. You're going to literally tune in to this connection to Source energy where you're always connected. And if you can just trust me and trust the process and trust this meditation, don't analyze it. Just let yourself relax. Let go and relax and shut down the conscious mind that's analyzing things. You will really do the best for yourself, because it's when we shut down the conscious mind and relax, we then can really tune in to our higher self to get inspiration. Okay, let me just sort out my papers here. I'm going to put on the sound. Please just tell me, maybe Marie, if this is the right volume level. Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to just put you other guys onto mute. And I'm going to put the video off. Okay. So So what I'd like you to do now, everyone, is please get yourself a pen and paper handy. If you haven't got a pen and paper with you, then go and grab one right now. Now, what I want you to do is get yourself in a comfortable sitting position. And be in a position that you are sitting with a pen in your hand and paper on your lap. But you're going to close your eyes and you're going to go into meditation. Hi, Ceci, someone's just joined. We're just going to start the meditation now. So thanks for joining. If you wouldn't mind, if you want to get a pen and paper, we're just going to ask ourselves some questions in the meditation and get some answers. So grab a pen and paper if you want to join this meditation. And just remember, if any answers come to mind, great, write them down. Once you've written them down, just take a deep breath and return to your center. Just your calm, peaceful, centered state when I say that. If you don't get any answers, great. If you do, great. If you don't, great. There's no right or wrong. The purpose here is to relax. Just trust the process. Let yourself go. The goal is to relax your body and relax your mind. Once you've relaxed your body and your mind fully, you will then naturally connect with your inner wisdom. You'll naturally connect with your true self, your higher self, and that's where we're going to get the answers. So what I want you to do is to really get to know that you can ask questions and get answers, and you can trust this process. Okay, every time I say take a deep breath, try to take the breath in your belly, in the bottom part, not your chest. Fully expand your belly, fully, then of course your chest as well, but fully into your belly. That's what a deep breath is. And that's quite important to define and be specific there. Because when we take deep breaths in our belly, it's a natural antidote to stress. You dissolve stress chemicals and it helps you to relax more and more. Okay, so let's begin. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. And take a deep breath. As you exhale, allow the tensions in your body to release and float away. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp. Feel the tension leaving your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw and tongue. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. And your chest. Relax your stomach. Relax your pelvic area. Take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet, all the way down to your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Continue breathing deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. As you take another deep breath, feel what a wonderful feeling it is to be deeply relaxed. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere that you've been, or maybe somewhere that you'd like to go. Allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Take your time, as if you are there. Now that you have created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light in the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. It is clearing the stress, the tension, and the clutter of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. It is clearing the stress and tension of the lifetime from your energy field, your atmosphere, or your aura. Feel this light clearing your energy, removing all the stress and tensions you've ever felt and ever experienced. As the light clears your energy field, notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now, take a deep breath in, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love to heal those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. Feel this unconditional love giving all of this to you, this love, this joy, abundance, and peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month of October. Tune into your inner wisdom. tune in to your higher self. That part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. I'm now going to do a special countdown from 10 to 1 to allow you to tune in to your inner wisdom, to universal source energy and your higher self. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following questions. What do I need to focus on for the month of October? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath and close your eyes and re-enter your calm state. What do I need to focus on for the month of October? Just relax, and whatever comes to mind, just write it down. What do I need to focus on for the month of October? The next question we're going to ask is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down, then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm state. What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? The next question we're going to ask is, what do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath and close your eyes and re-enter. Just make a note of anything that comes up for you. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to release? What do I need to let go of? Or what do I need to release? Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, just count yourself out, counting from 1 to 3, and then open your eyes and have a big stretch. Blessings to all of you.